Back, everyone, to another edition of Fantasy Forecast Fast Lane Show. This is for the Cup race at Dover on Saturday. There's going to be a double header this weekend. The Cup guys are racing on Saturday and Sunday. This show is for the Saturday race. I will be making another show for the Sunday race with an updated driver breakdown and cheat sheet. So, without further ado, let's talk about Dover, shall we? What we know about Dover, it's a 1 mile racetrack. So it's an intermediate track. That means there's going to be lots of laps. So we're going to be looking for that dominator in this race. That's the guy who leads the most laps. There have been a few times where we've had two dominators, but basically we are looking for one dominator to lead the most laps, and we do have a few guys that are very capable of doing that. So if you're making multiple lineups, I would suggest trying a few different ones. But my highest rated driver on the board right now is Chase Elliott, coming in at 10,000 on Draftkings. He is starting on the pole in the first position. Now, the last race here, he did finish in 38th, but if you look over at the race before that, he started first, finished 5th, but he led 145 laps. That's the most laps led. Then the race before that, he led only 11 laps, started 9th, but he finished in 1st. That's his only win here, but he has an average finish of 8.63. And his top 5%, or top 5 finish, or he's finished top 5 75% of the time. That is the highest in the field. Nobody else comes even close to that percentage. So he has 6 top 5s out of 8 races. And that one DNF, which is right over here in the 38th place, which is the last time they raced here. And the DNF percentage is only 13% because he's only got that one. And he's got 7 top 20s, total lap led, 294 laps led. That's an average of 36.75 laps led a race for him. He is my top guy for this race. And you'll see a little trend where we have our dominator actually starting on the pole position. Now, this is a little easier to predict when we have NASCAR practices. Unfortunately, we don't have practice anymore, so we cannot see what the practice times are. Chase Elliott has been running well lately, so hey, let's go with it. I do like Chase Elliott starting at the pole. Now, next is Daniel Suarez, and you'll notice I have him in the green. And for those that are new to the show, blue means best, green means good, yellow means caution, red means fade. Stay away from them. I've got Daniel Suarez in the green because, like I've said before in previous shows, his stats that we have right now that we have to go by are from previous race teams where he had much better equipment. But we still can't ignore the stats. They are there, but he doesn't have the equipment to compete for a win or even compete for top 15s. And he's starting in the 28th. If he was starting 38th, I would like him a little better. If he was in a lot better equipment, Daniel Suarez would be my second rated driver on the board, and he would be in blue. But since he is in the equipment that he's in, I'm going to leave him at green. I'm going to downgrade him. And I'm really not even going to be looking too much at Daniel Suarez unless I just need a salary saver there. But I do think we can find better salary relief elsewhere around that price range. So let's move on. We've got Kevin Harvick coming in at 11,400 on DraftKings. He is starting in the 10th position. Last race here, started 4th, finished 4th. Race before that, started 6th, finished 4th. Race before that, started 2nd, finished 6th, but he led 251 laps. Total domination, just didn't come through with the win. Do like some Kevin Harvick, especially starting in the 10th position. I will be using Kevin Harvick a lot. I did build one lineup before I got on here just playing around, and I did have Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick in that same lineup. I don't know if I'll keep it or not, but I do kind of like it. So I am trending toward keeping that lineup. And for those that don't know, I don't give out lineups here. I'm giving you guys the best advice I can for you guys to make your own lineup. Because you guys can probably make better lineups than I can. I can just provide you guys with the best information for you guys to make your best lineup so you can make money. I do the math, so you don't have to. So let's move on. We got Martin Truex Jr. at 11,000. He's starting in the third position. Last race here, he started third, finished second. Race before that, started 13th, finished first. Led 132 laps. This is a race where we had two dominators in Chase Elliott and Martin Truex Jr. Then the race before that, he started in third and finished 15th. Let's see over here his stats. Top 5%, 25%. Top 10, 57%. Top 20 at 79. He's led a total of 892 laps. That's 31.86 laps a race. Do like some Martin Truex Jr. He is my pick to win the race today, even though he is not ranked quite as high as Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick. Well, actually, he's tied with Kevin Harvick on my rating, but I do like Truex Jr. to win the race today. So I'm calling out the winner, Truex Jr. Kyle Busch, 10,600, starting in the 22nd position. He looked terrible last week. Terrible. But a lot of guys looked terrible last week. It's a brand new place for them to race on the Daytona road course. So there's not a race track that they were used to, and he looked terrible. But a lot of guys looked terrible. Man, Busch needs a win. So he's either going to get up there and compete for the win, or he's going to try too hard and he's going to destroy his car. You take the pick. If he gets up there and competes for the win, he's going to get you the differential points that you need for a GPP. But then if he's pushing the car too hard and breaks his car, he's out of the race and he's losing you points. So I would not go all in on Kyle Busch, but he is one of the top rated racers. Let's just look at some of his stats. Last race, he started 18th, finished 6th. There's your points differential right there. Then he started 22nd, finished 10th. Again, points differential. Then he started first, finished in 8th. Now this one right here, I said usually the pole sitter will lead a bunch of laps. Kyle Busch only led 21 laps here when he was the pole sitter, but he was up there. He's leading some laps. So that is showing us that trend still. Whoever's sitting on the pole is going to lead some laps. Hopefully, if you're playing Chase Elliott, he's going to get up there and lead over 100 laps, and that's what you want from the pole sitter. Jimmie Johnson. You're going to have to take a look at these stats, guys. I wish he was starting a little further back. He's starting in 6th. He's only 8,000. But look at these stats, and Jimmy needs a win. This is his last year in Cup. He's retiring after this year, and he wants a win bad. So last race, he finished 11th. He started 11th, and he finished 8th. Then race before that started 12th, finished 14th. And then he's got a 36th place finish over here. But over the years for Jimmie Johnson, his average finish is 9.92. That's phenomenal. But what's even better than that, he has 11 wins here at Dover. 11. Dude knows how to get around this racetrack. Top 5%, 47%. Top 10 at 69%. Top 20, 86%. Average led laps per race, 86.39 here at Dover. He's led over 3,000 laps over his career at Dover. You cannot ignore those stats. Those are phenomenal. But some of those stats are the best on the board. He grades out in the top 5 here on Fantasy Forecast. I do like some Jimmie Johnson. It does scare me a bit that he's starting in the 6th position because he could drop back, but then again, he could get up there and win his first race of the season and get into the NASCAR playoffs. I'll be using some of him. I'm not going to go all in, but I will be using some Jimmie Johnson. And then we get to Brad Keselowski, 9,700, starting in the 7th position. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of meh where the price is, starting 7th. Um, I don't know. Just looking at some of the stats of Penske cars, Dover doesn't look like it's their best track. They do well everywhere, but it doesn't look like it's their best. Last race here, he started 16th, finished in 11th place. Then he's got started 9th, finished 12th. But he did lead 58 laps there. Then he's got started 4th, finished 14th. The average has an average finish of 13.05. He does have one win. Everything else is just kind of meh. Yeah, they're okay. They're not blowout stats like, ooh, wow, yes, I want to use Brad. It's nothing like that. If you want to use him, he's pretty safe to use. He's usually always going to get you a good finish. But I like trying to target those guys that are going to maximize the points for me for their price. His price, he's priced about right for Brad Keselowski, I suppose. Um, I wish it was a little bit cheaper for the stats that he has for us. So I may be looking a little elsewhere. I may sprinkle in some here and there, but yeah. Kurt Busch, 8,300. Now we're getting a little better value and a little better stats than Brad Keselowski, starting in 9th position. Last race, he started in 9th, finished 9th, led 3 laps. Then he's got started 19th, finished 13th. Then he's got a 5th place finish right here back in October 2018. Started in the 7th. Average finish 17.56. He does have one victory here. And then all the other stats, yeah, decent stats. Um, let's see. He's got 7 DNFs out of 39 races. It's only 18% though. That's not terrible. Um, But if I had to choose between Brad Keselowski and Kurt Busch, I'd go with Brad. But if I needed the savings, I could go with Kurt Busch because it's pretty close there. Then we get to Matt Kenseth. Well, what do we have? What do we do with Matt Kenseth? He's only 7,000. He's starting in 26th position. This is so inviting. I so want to play Matt Kenseth, and I probably will have some. He is in Kyle Larson's car that Kyle Larson started the year with. Last year, Kyle Larson won this race in that car. Matt Kenseth and Kyle Larson are two totally different drivers. Two very great drivers, but two totally different styles. The race team's still trying to adjust to Kenseth's style because it's totally different than Larson, and they had Larson, and there's no practice, so they can't really work with Kenseth other than on race day. So Kenseth has great stats here. He's got an average finish of 12.92. He's got 3 wins. Top 5% is at 44%. Top 10% is at 62%. Whew. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I do like those stats. The car won here last year with Kyle Larson. Can that team come together and gel and get Kenseth up there? Absolutely, they could, or they could bomb like they've bombed the past few weeks. If you're living dangerously, put him in there, man. Put him in there. He could definitely win you a tournament. Then we got Ryan Newman, 6,800, starting in the 23rd position. Last year, he in the last race finished 22nd, started 24th. He's got an 18th finish, 17th finish, but he has an average finish of 14.61 and 3 wins for Newman here at Dover. That's it, 3 wins. That's good. This is one of the racetracks that he likes. Newman likes Dover. I will be sprinkling in some Newman. Matter of fact, that team that I put together that had Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick in the lineup, I also had some Newman in there because I needed that salary relief. And if you look at his stats, his overall stats, they look pretty good. And starting 23rd, he can definitely move up. He's got decent equipment. And Eric Jones, 9,200, starting in 13th. Joe Gibbs Equipment. Eric Jones needs a ride for next year. This is an audition still. I wish he was cheaper. I wish he was starting further back, but it is what it is. He's got some decent finishes. Last 3 races, finished 15th, 6th, and 4th. He has an average finish of 11.67. No wins here. 17% top 5 finishes. He's finished in the top 20 100% of the time. So he's probably not going to drop out of the top 20. Maybe a safe bet for 50-50s. I don't know what kind of upside it really has for GPPs. I don't really like it for the mega tournaments. If you're trying to go for that 100,000, I don't think Eric Jones is the guy that's going to get you there. 50-50s, probably pretty safe. William Byron, 8,200, starting in the 8th position. Okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know. He hasn't been running all that well. Last 3 races, finished 13th, 8th, and 19th. Eh, not a lot of upside there, guys. He he could get up there, but I don't see it. I'm looking at maybe a top 15 finish, probably drop back a few spots. So he's going to lose you a few points. He's probably not going to kill you if you've got him in your lineup, because I know he is a little cheaper at 8,200. But I don't like it for your GPPs where you're trying to maximize those points. Now, Joey Logano, another Penske guy. I was telling you about the Penske guys. It just doesn't seem like it's their racetrack. 9,400, starting in 5th position, about the same as Brad Keselowski. Last race, he finished 34th, then he had a 7th, then he had a 3rd place, which is good. Only led 2 laps when he had 3rd place finish, but still finished up there. The Penske guys are good drivers. They've got great equipment. It just doesn't seem like Dover is their racetrack. So they're not going to be really big on my radar. Then we get to Eric Almirola. Now, he's only 8,900. Starting in the 17th position. He was starting near the top because he was finishing in the top 10 several races in a row. Then he's had a few bad races here recently. And when he was starting near the front, it seemed like he was always getting the pole position. I was like, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Now starting 17th, I'm interested in Eric Almirola. So let's just take a look, shall we? He had last finish 17th, then the race before that 16th, then a 13th, but he led 64 laps in that finish where he finished 13th. Average finish 16.27. So that's just a little bit above where he's starting. But you got to remember the equipment that he is in right now with Stewart-Haas equipment, same equipment that Kevin Harvick has. And he had been running very well. Top 10 finishes, left and right. I can see Eric Almirola getting up there and getting you a top 10 finish today. So I do like that play from where he's starting, especially at the price tag at 8,900 on Draftkings. Then we get to Denny Hamlin, 10,200. He could be one of your dominators. I know he's down here. He's in green. He's not in blue. That's just how the numbers graded it out. But take a look at last race. Last race, he started in the pole position. Remember, I said that pole position can be your dominator. He finished 5th, but he led 218 laps. Total domination. Then the race before that, he started 8th, finished 21st. Then he had a 2nd place finish when he started 15th. But he has an average finish here of 17.07. No wins, but 5 top 5s. That's at 18% of his races here were top 5s. 43% were top 10s, and 68% were top 19. He's had a total, or led a total of 494 laps here. He's got 4 DNFs out of 28 races, which is at 14%. That's still okay. I can live with that. So he's going to be hit or miss. he's either going to get up there and contend for the lead, which he has the past several races. Denny Hamlin has been always up there at the front contending for the lead. I'm thinking it's going to be just that way again today. Look for him to be one of your possible dominators. I like it. I like it. He's in Joe Gibbs equipment. I said Truex is my pick to win the race. Denny Hamlin's going to be right up there. They're both Joe Gibbs cars. Kyle Busch is a Joe Gibbs car. If Kyle Busch doesn't destroy his car, he's going to be right up there too. Eric Jones, also a Joe Gibbs car, but I don't like the Eric Jones play as much as I like the other three. Austin Dillon, he has been cleared to race with a negative COVID-19 test. He's coming in at 8,700, starting in the 32nd position. Here's our points differential guy right here. That's where we're going to get our points with him moving up the race. Now, his finishes are okay. Last race, he started 27th, moved up to 18th. Then he started 16th and moved up to 19th. And then he started 14th and moved up to 7th. He's got an average finish of 20.54. So that's more than 10 spots moving up. But I expect him to move up more than that. Unless something terrible happens where he crashes or somebody runs into him, cuts a tire, anything like that. It's NASCAR. Things happen. But if nothing happens, look for Austin Dillon to get a top 15. And if you are playing GPPs or 50-50s, I like Austin Dillon in any format. Throw him in there. He'll probably be heavily owned, but I don't care. I eat the chalk. When the chalk's good, I eat it, and you should too. Don't worry about chalk. It's no time to get cute. Get your money. Now, going to Clint Boyer at 7,800, starting in the 4th position. Yeah, I know, 4th position. I wish he was starting out of the top 10. Finishes are okay, but not for where we want somebody that's starting in the 4th position. He just really hasn't been contending for the lead. He may hang out in the 4th position there for a while, but more than likely he's going to drop back into the 11th, 12th position. He's got an average finish of 13.07, so he does okay at this track. It's not terrible, but starting in the 4th position, I just don't like it. I want to maximize my points, and there's just too much danger right there to be playing Clint Boyer starting in 4th. Then we got Ricky Stenhouse Jr., my dude, Stenhouse. Only 6,200 on DraftKings, starting in the 19th position. Now, the biggest thing we want to look at for Stenhouse is we want to go over to the DNFs. Let's see how many DNFs he has at this racetrack. So we're going to go all the way over here. Let me make sure we highlight Stenhouse so we get the right one. Out of 15 races, he has only wrecked twice. So that's 13% of the time he has wrecked out. I like those odds for Stenhouse because if you've watched the show before, I've said this. If Stenhouse doesn't wreck his car, he is contending for the lead. Dude is fearless. He's going to charge up to the field. He doesn't give a crap. All right? He doesn't care who he pisses off. He's getting up there. So, if he doesn't wreck, he's getting up there. And as you guys can see, only 2 DNFs out of 15 races, Stenhouse can get around this track without wrecking. I'm playing Stenhouse today. He's going to be my dude. Again, Stenhouse is my dude again. Then we get Ty Dillon, 5,500, starting 25th. Another salary saver for you guys. He doesn't have that great of finishes, but at 5,500, he's got much better equipment than guys that are priced at the same price range and where he started. He actually led a lap, just one lap, last race here. Started 25th, finished 23rd. Then he had another starting 25th, finished 22nd. Then he had a 30th, finished 29th. So he's moving up. He's not losing you points. So the last 3 races, he's moved up. He's got an average finish of 23.71. So if you need that salary relief, it doesn't look like he's going to lose you any points. He may gain you a couple of points. So yeah, I can use Ty Dillon if I need that salary. He's probably not going to bust open and get you a ton of points. He's not going to win the race. At least he most likely won't. He's not got that car unless we have some kind of weird thing where he stays out and the rain comes and they end the race and like, oh my goodness, Ty Dillon, Ty Dillon, he won the race. Oh my goodness. I doubt it. It would take some kind of fluke for him to even get in the top 15. All right, Ryan Blaney, another Penske car. I was telling you guys about the Penske cars. It's 11,800 on DraftKings. He's the most expensive guy on the board. I have no idea why DraftKings is pricing him that way, unless it's because he's starting in 20th position. I don't know. I don't like the play. The only thing is to hope for upside and him moving up. But he has an average finish here of 21.25. Last race, he finished 35th, started 10th. Then he's got a 15th place finish, then 11th place finish. But he's moved backwards all three races. So from 10th to 35th, 11th to 15th, and then 8th to 11th. He's moving backwards. That's not a trend that I like to target. And let's see, for top fives, he's never had a top five finish here at Dover. All right, I don't like Blaney. He's only finished twice in the top 10. That's 25%. 4 in the top 20. That's only 50%. He's got 8 races here. Ryan Blaney is way too daggum expensive for the stats that he's put up. I don't like it. I'm not using him. I mean, you can use him and hope for the best, but I don't like it. And then my boy Bubba finally getting in the green here on my driver breakdown at 6,600. I'm using some Bubba. He's starting 24th. I like Bubba better than I like Ryan Blaney, and he's over $5,000 cheaper. So take a look at this. Starting 24th, he's got an average finish of 23.75. That's basically only 2 spots lower than Blaney. But last 3 races, he started 26th, finished 20th, moved up. All right, race before that, started 27th, and he finished 27th. He didn't go backwards, he stayed the same. And then the race before that, started 29th, finished 23rd. He moved up. He gained you some points by moving up. So I like the Bubba play better than Blaney. And let's look over here at the DNS. Well, first, all right, it doesn't have any top 5 finishes. He doesn't have any top 10s. He's only got one top 20 out of only 4 races, but he doesn't have any DNF, so he's finishing the races. Bubba's been running well lately, and for that price, 6,600, I can definitely throw Bubba in some lineups and feel really good about it. Yeah, Alex Bowman, 8,500. We're getting to our yellow guys right here, starting in 11th position. Not bad. Here's the thing about Alex Bowman. I should probably change him to the green. I don't like the Alex Bowman play. It's okay. Starting 11th, last race here, he finished 3rd. Then he had a 2nd place finish. Then he had a 28th finish. Here's where the stats start getting a little rough, is the average finish. But Alex Bowman has not always had the Hendrick equipment that he has now. So he's got some stats a little further back that are bringing him down. These stats here that are the latest stats, these are under Hendrick equipment, and he was running really well with the Hendrick equipment, and he's still in Hendrick equipment. Let me see if I can change that here. Let's change him to some green, shall we? Let's see, right here, field color, and boom, Alex Bowman is now in the green. Then we get to Ryan Preece, 5,700, starting in 27th position. Then yellow, use caution, but I like that play. You can do a lot worse for your salary relief, 5,700. Let's see if he's moving up. Last race, he started 32nd, moved up to 19th. Then we got a 29th place, or 29th start, moved up to 28th. And then we got a DNF, I believe, right here. He started 32nd, finished 37th. So he did move back on that one. He's got an average finish of 23.5. So looking at where he's starting 27th, and you can move up to at least his average finish or better, you're gaining points. We want to gain points. We want to maximize the points as much as we can. So I don't mind the Ryan Priest play. Use caution, though, with Ryan Priest. And we're not playing Garrett Smithley. These guys, their equipment is just not up to snuff. They're going to be getting back there in the back, and we don't like it. Then we get our rookies. I don't really like our rookies, so they're going to be all in yellow. Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell. Then Matty D's in yellow. Matty D's okay right now. I don't mind using him if you need to, starting 14th. You could use him. It scares me him starting 14th, but you could use him. John Hunter Nemechek, 31st, starting 31st. He's my only rookie that I think I'd be targeting just because of the points upside. Starting 31st is at 6,500. So you could use John Hunter Nemechek. Then we get the guys. Don't use these guys. Gase, Balicki, Poole, Sorensen, McLeod. Oh, Busher. I'm not using Busher. He's a guy that could be out of the red some races. I'm not using him. Corey LaJoy, not using him. Michael McDowell. Sometimes Michael McDowell can surprise you, but I'm not using him. Timmy Hill, J.J. Yelly, Quinn Hoff. Just those guys in red, go ahead and eliminate them from your player pool. Don't use those guys. There's no upside there for them. Stick with the guys that are in green and blue, and you're going to be doing just fine. If you want to dip down in the yellow for some salary relief, you should be okay too. You may not even have to, though, because the blue and the green, the guys are there. So good luck, guys. Stay safe, stay cashing, stay tuned. There's going to be a Sunday race for tomorrow. I will be updating our driver breakdown and cheat sheet after the race to reflect the race that we just have. And I'll have a brand new show come either tonight or early tomorrow morning. Thank you for watching, and let's win some money.